In order for me to understand why I'm dating or I'm attracted to the guys that I'm attracted to, I'm going to have to go backwards for me to go forward. Hey, Boogies. So there's 1,000 ways I can go with this video. I have been learning so much about myself. Not even me. The Lord has been giving me so much revelation. It's literally like insane. I have so much to speak about, but I just don't know. Just flow with me, baby. That's all I need you to do. Just flow with me. This may be a part 3 series, a part 1 series out of a part 3. I don't know. Whatever my heart is feeling, that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to go over 5 aspects of a relationship that is needed by a man of God. And I'm going to explain past relationship where that wasn't there, my early childhood and how it affects how I'm selecting guys. I'm just going to let the Spirit guide me. You follow along. Close your mouth. Open your ears. Open your eyeballs. And shot PardonThePress. I want to talk about protection. And I want to talk about protection, not just in a physical sense, in a spiritual sense, in a mental sense, emotionally, and how I lack protection by a physical male figure. Jesus Christ gives it to me, but by a man in my life. And I've always lacked it. And I think it's something that I'm yearning for, but I'm going about it wrong because I don't necessarily know how to look for it. And I keep attracting the same, or I keep being attracted to the same particular type of individual to where they are lacking the qualities to protect me as a woman. And I always feel like I'm windmilling in the corner, windmilling, and I'm by myself and I'm doing it alone. And I think back to my childhood, and you have to look at, where was your father? He wasn't present. So the first line of defense, which is your dad, was not there to protect you. So when I think about a protector, I think about my mother. Because she literally, I feel so safe knowing that my mother is going to be to protect me from everything. Like, I know my mother is my first line of defense because my dad just wasn't there. I remember when I had my first boyfriend, and I'm going to refer back to this person a lot because A, it's my first relationship, and B, it's my only relationship. So it's going to be me constantly referring back because as I'm talking and I'm unpacking, I'm having like flashbacks of me and dating and when I was in a relationship. I remember feeling such a sense of, a void of protection because this man couldn't even protect me from the smaller things. And I'm going to give you an example. So he had he had a niece. She was going through very hard times. God bless her. I hope she's doing great. She was going through some really difficult times. And I feel like because she was going through difficult times, she was lashing out in a really bad way. So one of the things that she would do is when I was on the phone with him, she would come in the room and she would curse me out. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about BFUB, you horse, everything. That girl was dragging me from front to back, from Europe to Africa, dragging me for filth. And I'm just like, I was telling him, I was like, like, you have to like get her under control. Like, you gonna have to check her. Like, she's a little girl. At the time she was 7. And he was like, oh my God, she's going through things. Like, you're an adult. You don't know how to navigate a child going through things. And she was. And when I was talking to another girl, she was able to navigate that and you can't navigate that. And I was just like, like, the thing is, I understand that she's going through something, but you don't need her to be going out in the world and calling older adults whores, sluts, all of that. And her teacher's doing that too. Like, you have to correct it in the house. And it could have been very well to where she knew better to not do it with other adults, but she just did it with him because he allowed it. She probably might have not even been doing that outside of just doing it around him, but she would curse me out like real bad. So I always used to think, okay, well, if he gonna let his niece curse me out, he's not gonna check that, and he doesn't know how to create a boundary, and we gonna come back to that. I was like, I don't think he's gonna really be able to protect me in the real world. Now, you may think, oh, it's crazy, like, girl, it's a little girl at the 7-year-old. But no, because it was a real world instance to where we were outside. It was at night, and we were walking back to the car. We was right in front of it, or he was in the car and I was standing outside the car. And a man pulled up and asked me right in front of him something, probably like, do you have a man? Something of that nature. and sped off. And guess who got blamed for it? This girl. This girl got blamed for a man approaching me while he's standing right there, and he didn't say anything nor check the man. Now, what I do want to say, as a black woman who dates black men, I understand the severity of an argument. I understand that it can end up in life and death. I understand that. I'm not asking a man to go out there and crash out because we want to make sure you come home, right? So I'm not asking you to go risk your life. I understand the severity of that. My mother taught me that some years ago because I didn't get it, but she had made me get it. But the thing is, it's just like, okay, you didn't approach the man. You didn't even address the man, right? Why am I getting blamed for it? So it's just like, here we go again. Here's this wound back open again of not being protected. It's like, okay, girl, you with this man, but he's not going to be able to protect you. And like I said, what I want people to understand is protection is not just the physical. It's not just you squabbling up in the street with a man. You get what I'm saying? Protection mentally, emotionally also. And also, the threat may not always be a man. Sometimes it's a woman. Sometimes it's your family member. Do you have the ability to protect me? And what does protection look like when it's not on a physical aspect? Protection looks like setting boundaries. Do you have the ability to check your auntie if I'm at the function and your auntie is coming for me? Look, and some of y'all know some of y'all family members are out of line. Trust me, I get it. Okay? So, do you have the ability to protect my well-being? Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If somebody's weighing heavy on me, are you able to protect me? I've never seen this real, and it made me think about, like, holy crap, I didn't understand it gave me more understanding of the weight of a husband in marriage. In the sense of his wife was pregnant and they had best friends or really close friends and they're married, but they was going through marital issues. They would be calling them with all the problems or whatever like that. And the husband seen how much it weighed in on his wife. He had to step in and intervene on her behalf because it was affecting her mental, and she's carrying their child. And he had to call him, like, don't call my wife again. You're not going to stress my wife out and she's pregnant. Do not call my wife. That's it. And he had to end it. I don't know if they're ever friends again, but he had to set that boundary on her behalf because protecting her mental health and protecting their child is his number one priority. So he put himself on the front line. That's what I mean by it's not just physical. It's more than that. That, like, oh my gosh, like, I just been, like, thinking, like, ooh, the Lord, like, really speaking through me, like, period, boo. But I don't need you to be outside squabbling outside of the club, beating somebody to a pulp, like, that like, yeah, you have to protect your partner physically if there's a physical threat, absolutely. But can you protect me mentally, spiritually, emotionally? What about a threat that's affecting me mentally? Can you protect me? Are you able to set that boundary? And this is, like, literally, like, it's just, I be having, like, I don't know, it's been brought to the forefront. So it's like you go back and you think about all these times, or like somebody you dealt with or whatever like that, and they weren't able to provide that. And it was just like, no, I deserve that. You should want to protect me. And you should be very sure about that. You should protect me, and I deserve that. And if it's not that, then I don't want it. I deserve the world, and sure do. And this is the requirement of you as a partner, because you think, and don't let nobody deceive you thinking like, well, y'all not married, so or you're not married, so why would I need to be doing all this yet? If you don't show the qualities in the courting stage, then how am I marry you? I'm gonna marry you and pray to God that you get the qualities? No, you need to start showing it now. Come on, y'all. Moving on to number 2, sacrifice. This was a tough one for me because it exposed what I was doing wrong also. Because this video is not going to be, me dragging a man. The video is going to be about me exposing myself. And this is what he's been teaching me very recently, the Heavenly Father, shout out to him. And the importance of sacrifice, not only on my end, but the ability for somebody to sacrifice on your end. And I'm going to try to, I got to think about like how I'm going to say this. Recently, my father, when I say my father, I say Jesus, okay? Just to let y'all know. But recently, my father has brought it to my attention that you sacrifice, and you sacrifice so much that you literally will either make yourself small or neglect the things that you need, or neglect your feelings or emotions on the person's behalf. So yes, sacrificing is important, but it's getting to the point to where it's to your own detriment, and you're going well beyond what you need to go. Well, you're going well beyond what you need to actually do. And I had to sit, with the spirit, and the spirit's like, look, we understand that you're willing to sacrifice. I've watched my mother give her life to her partner, to her kids. My mother has put everybody before herself. I've seen it. I know what it looks like to sacrifice. I know what it looks like to maybe change or give up something for the sake of your partner. I know what it looks like, and I'm okay with that. But the spirit was like, well, what does it look like when a man sacrifices for you? And can you name a time in which a man did sacrifice for you? And there is none. I can name a time where somebody had a instance or some type of personality trait that I liked, but just because they do something just because they have a good trait don't mean they're a good person. I'm gonna say it again. Just because they have a good trait does not mean they're a good person. If they're a good gift giver and they're good at remembering and giving you gifts, but after they give you the gifts, once you guys get into an argument, they berate you or put their hands on you, that them giving you nice gifts does not mean they're a good person. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's a full encompassment. Like, it's not just a characteristic. It's the person itself. So I take it back to my first relationship, and one thing that I really, really enjoyed, one of the traits they had, was he was a man of his word. If he said he was going to do it, he did it. If it was hard to do it, it don't matter, he did it. If he barely had the time, he made the time. And I really respected that so much, because he was somebody who worked a lot. He worked like 16 hours a day, because it was during COVID. He was the breadwinner. Like, he was responsible for me and him financially. So he always made time. Always. He could have did 2 shifts back to back, exhausted, and he would get off of work, and the first thing that he did was see me. I never felt like, he's not around, or we're not doing enough, because he always made the time, and he always kept his word. If he said he can't do it, he wouldn't do it. But if he said he can do it, he made a way. And I remembered I was telling him, I said, thank you so much for keeping your word, because I'm so used to being let down. Oh my gosh, and I'm gonna get into that and where that comes from, but I'm so used to being let down. It's so refreshing for you to keep your word. And he was like, I understand. I think he said something to the effect of, like, I understand being let down, so I make it a point to show up. You get what I'm saying? And that was a trait that I really, really, really appreciated with him. He was very consistent in that way, but he was not a good man. So let's not get confused, okay? But honestly, being let down because, my dad wasn't around, and then my dad didn't, he's not a man of his word. So, I could think back to when I was younger, and, I'm gonna be there for your birthday, and crying, and my mom going off because she has to, now be the middleman and try to, tell me it's going to be okay, but then trying to hold him accountable, and she's taking the brunt of everything. And it made me think about, because I was thinking the other day, because I don't like celebrating my birthday. I'm like, okay, I don't like doing too much for my birthday. And I was talking to a friend of mine. He was like, yo, what we doing for your birthday? And I'm like, damn, I don't really like doing nothing for my birthday. I don't know, I would hang out with people, and I do want to hang out with people, but then again, and it just made me think about, girl, you don't like your birthday because you were let down, and it traumatized you as a kid. So you don't like celebrating your birthday because you don't like to not see people show up. You know what I'm saying? So you'd rather just be in isolation, or get a handful of people who you trust and keep it pushing. But it's just oh my gosh, you don't, your childhood trauma affects you so freaking much. It's insane. But anyway, the biggest offense to me, like I said, it's just not keeping your word. It's like a knife, and it's just being turned in you. It's just being turned. You turn the knife again. You turn the knife again. You turn the knife again. because making promises and you don't show up. It hurts. And it just reminds me, not even reminds me, but I think my inner little girl is just broken all over again. And that has been like so much of just my relationship with men, period. It just let down until you harden your heart. You get what I'm saying? You get cold, you get distant, like you have to shut off your emotions. Like, yo, is everything come back to me right now. Literally, like, I used to, and this is with friendships too, I used to be able to shut my emotions off. Like, I can love you intensely on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I can turn it off like a faucet and I won't feel anything. And it's not like the emotion or the love wasn't there. I got so good at burying my emotions so deep down to prevent myself from feeling the pain of hurt from a person. I was able to just turn it off. And at the time, I thought I was just like, dang, like, I'm just a cold mode. You know what I mean? Like, I don't be feeling nothing. And that wasn't the case, because as I, came to Christ and he began to soften my heart, the emotions came back up. So I can sit down and say with people I talk to or dated or friends, I truly love them and I truly still love them and I always will. And I just literally, I just couldn't take the being let down or somebody showing something that I didn't see or whatever, and I would just turn off my emotions. I would just turn it off like a faucet. So yeah. Number 3, leading, and this is going to be more so on a personal conviction. You know how important it is for a man to lead you. The head of every wife is her husband. The head of every husband is Christ. To lead a woman is an important job, and I didn't realize anything. The Spirit made me realize that I'm a recovering control freak. I still have the urge to want to control things and control my outcome. And it goes back to my childhood. And I think about how chaotic was it in a sense and how much I couldn't control. When I was young, I had my life integrated. Like, I had a blended family. So it was just me and my sister, and then it became me, my sister, and 3 others. So it was 5 of us in the house growing up. And, you can't really control that. The family gets blended. You start sharing things. You share your room. You share your clothes. You share your bed. You share your space. So it's just the loss of control there. And then you think about, okay, like, I can't make my parent love me. I can't make my parent show up for me. And I can't control that aspect of it. So it's another thing, like, you lose control of. And I want to go back into the love part, because I remember I was just like, I want to say this in my video, but honestly, do I think my dad loved me? No. I don't know. He may feel really differently now, but, it's 2 things. I do genuinely believe that people do love people, but they just don't know how to do it right. I can literally, and I can even go back to my relationship. Like, I can literally think about, like, when I had my relationship, how it would be sometimes I would curse him out. Bad, real bad. Scrub the ground with him. You get what I'm saying? And he was very mean, so I learned how to be mean too. And I did love him, but was that the right way? No, because we are supposed to speak life into our loved ones. We supposed to speak life into our husband, and that was something that the Lord convicted me on too, when I was looking up what it takes to be a wife. But that was wrong. So I do believe some people just don't know how to do things. I'm gonna be honest with you, with my dad, I don't really feel like that. Like, I just don't believe he has the capacity to love people in a normal sense. I just don't. Like, I just don't. Like, he may argue me down. If he see this, oh, well, you can't do nothing. I'm not scared of you. You can't give me no whooping. But I just don't believe he loved me or my sister. Like, I just don't. Like, I remember, like, my mom was telling me she was so hurt by it. And I'm just like, I'm so numb to it now. So it's just like, it's whatever. Like, me and him, I'm literally talking all this stuff, but, like, me and him, we cool. You get what I'm saying? But he was telling my mother, like, recently, mind you, my father's like 50-something years old. Telling my mom, like, having my sister was the worst mistake. And I'm like, bro, it's been like 30 years. You talking about that was the worst mistake of your life and it ruined your life? Bro, it's 30 years. Get it together. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like like, that's what you carrying around your heart for 30 years, brother? Like, bro, and you had 2 kids? Child, anyways, so that's, I just don't believe he had the capacity to it, and it just is what it is at this point. But anyway, going back to my leading. So I have instances of not being able to be in control of my life. All these shifts happen, all these changes happen, and I've not been able to control the way that I want people to show up for me and how I want to live and all this stuff, right? So how does that breed into your adulthood? You become a control freak and you try to control every aspect of everything. I remember when I was with my ex, I was leading that relationship, baby. I was the head, child. Pockets are small, but the voice was loud. And, I was just more of like aggressive and no, like this and that and that and that. And I remember like, oh my gosh, like memory lane. I was like talking to somebody and they were like trying to kiss me. I'm like, no, like we're going to do it this way. And then he was like, why are you trying to control like me just giving you a kiss? And I was like, ooh. That, I don't know, that awoken something in me, y'all. I was just like, why am I trying to control that? Like, what is it? Like why am I trying to just control everything? And it kind of like woke me up. I know that's like really random, but it popped into my head. But I'm going to tell you how it showed up into me recently. So even to this day, I'm still trying to control the outcome and I'm still trying to control the way somebody shows up for me. And it's kind of like, you're trying to get a guy and make a guy do things that you want him to do, because it's just like you couldn't get your dad to do it. You couldn't get your dad to show up. He didn't want to show up. He just didn't, right? And now you're like still trying to force guys who don't have it to have it. It's just like, and it's not saying like, okay, when I say don't have it, it could be a very much a moment thing, but like I remember like recently like putting on like these crazy obligations, like if you don't do this, I'm not gonna talk to you forever. And the thing is, it's just like I do be joking 95% of the time because like I am really dramatic and that's just who I am. But I be kidding. But like there's been a time, that 5% where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna ask this person to do this, and if they don't do it, yeah, I'm never talking to them again. And it's just like, well, did they ever do it? And it's just like, no. So it's just like, why are you trying to make somebody show up when they have not showed up? When you have constantly asked them to show up in this way or change or this and that, and they haven't done it. So why are you trying to force them to show up when time and time again they haven't done it? Obviously, they got some work to do. And you can't make them do that work for you. Like you cannot make them change for you. They would have to want to do it themselves. Like you can't make somebody do that. So it's just like, what is this thing with control? And it's like, bro, like I've grown up with things that I wish I could control and I could not have. So in my adult years, I'm trying to control everything. I'm trying to control the partner, how they show up for me, the things they do, this and that and that. And I'm trying to make a guy like, okay, let me try to rephrase this. I'm trying to make somebody show up in the ways that my dad could not. And you can't do that because they have to want to show up. Going back to sacrifice, they have to want to sacrifice. We know you can sacrifice. Good, beautiful, right? But it has to be on the other end. It's two people mutually coming to agreement of this person needs this, and I am willing to be that for that person. I am willing to give up this for that person. And it cannot be one-sided. It's two people. And I be trying to make emotionally unavailable guys into what I want them to be instead of finding an emotionally available guy. But it's just like, it's all I know. And it goes back to, and I remember I was sitting with the Spirit, and the Spirit asked me, if I gave you a guy, or if I was able to make a guy do the things and show up for how he wants to show up, would you be receptive for it? Because it's one thing to get it, but can you receive it? Can you take it in? Can you take in kind gestures and niceness and going out the way and going above and beyond for you? You can envision you doing it for somebody else, but can you accept it for yourself? And I literally told the Spirit, I don't know. And I literally was just like, please God, like, whatever you do, just give me the heart to be able to receive. Like, give me the heart to receive kindness and gestures and going out the way and love. Give me the heart to receive it, because I have not received it from a guy. So I started to question, like, would I ever even really be able to receive it? So give me the heart to be able to, because when somebody goes above and beyond for me, I start feeling guilty. And it's just like, why are you feeling guilty? Because people love you, they want to show up. Child, I'm finna end the video because I'm pissed off now. Because this is too much unpack. Last thing, I think that is the last thing. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, child. Patience. Oh, my patience was so little. It was very little, like my waist. But as time has grown, the Lord has really, patience. Oh my gosh, has He taught me patience in so many ways. Not even dating myself, my journey, my life, my finances, my career, my everything. I had to learn patience. Understand that with dating and stuff like that, I understand there is a level of patience that I have to have for a partner. I get that. I'm okay with that. I know and I understand that there are some aspects that I may be more experienced in, or maybe I have overcome and tackled and they haven't, and they have to work through that, and I'm okay with that, and vice versa. Is that the correct term? I think it's vice versa. Same thing with me. There will be things that maybe they are far along in, or they tackled, and I need help with, and I need patience, and I totally understand that. Like, I'm not looking for perfection. I don't need you to be perfect. I understand you will have shortcomings. I accept you for your shortcomings. I just need somebody to try. That be the thing. It be the thing is, it's like I'm trying and I'm meeting people who don't want to try. You don't want to inconvenience yourself. You don't want to go above and beyond. It's just like, this is too much. And then it's just, there it goes. Blank. That's that. And it's just like, I guess that maybe that's truly what I'm yearning for. I didn't need my dad to be perfect. I just need him to try. Even if he didn't do it in the earlier years, in the 20s, maybe in the 30s, he can say he's doing it. Honestly, I don't know what he's got going on. But, like, he just needed to try. We didn't need you to be perfect. You ain't perfect. But try. And that's what I want in a partner. I just want somebody to try for me. I want somebody to be like, this is the girl. She's that girl. And I'm going to try for her. And I'm going to go above and beyond to actually... the video is done. Redo nails because the nails were ugly. Make sure you shop PardonThePress. I sell nail supplies, 10 technicians. It would be really helpful if you guys would shop the site. Follow me on my social media, PardonThePress.com, and check out my YouTube channel. I guess if there's more in my heart, I will make another video. But I don't know. It's just, I've been going through a discovery moment, and I thought that I would just share my testimony because I know there's women out there who understand and are feeling the same way.